Resistance. What a throwback of a franchise I fucking love, but also was terrified when I was a kid, but got really into it when I was a teen and really liked the lore and everything. It was fucking cool. I like Resistance a lot. Now, with Sony dabbling with making PS3 games backwards compatible for PS5, I suppose that's what I hear down the grapevine or whatever. No doubt, if it arrives, right, many games will be accessed and given the love it deserves instead of being forgotten. This, I feel, is the case for Resistance, a game I believe should make a comeback as a remaster, a remake, or a whole new title. Fuck it, why not, right? If you don't know what Resistance is, it's a science fiction horror shooter, right? Its side titles focus on different individuals doing their own thing fighting the Chimera. The Chimera we see in the game aren't pure Chimera either. They are just an amalgamation of people and animals put together by a virus that tries to make more of its own, no matter how disgusting and horrific they may be. They are just an alien race that will continue to fuck shit up no matter what. And dear God, can they really just subject people to horrors beyond your comprehension? It's pretty fucked when it comes to this alien species. They apparently used to be on Earth before going to war against another alien race and losing and having to pimp off before humanity was even a thing, I suppose. Honestly, I didn't even know all this until I started researching this shit like crazy. And all this shit was crazy to really get into it. And they decided to come back and, fucked humanity's shit up. And that's where the games focus on. So 2 of the 3 main games focus on Nathan Hale, a soldier who helped kick the Chimera out of Britain after becoming infected with the virus. But instead of turning into a Chimera, it made him stronger, faster, and more deadly, basically becoming like a sort of amalgamation between the 2 species. Ultimately, he would help disrupt the Chimera more in Europe in the sequel before succumbing to the virus. He is later killed by Joseph Zeppeli, a soldier under him who becomes the main protagonist of the 3rd game. Even beyond the grave, Nathan is trying to help humanity because his blood is being used to create a cure for the virus. So the Chimera lost a big source of reinforcements because of this. And yeah, it gets fucking wild after this because now the Chimera are even more crazy and doing more heinous shit to try and recoup their reinforcements, recoup their numbers, and try to, eliminate humanity overall. Capelli would meet Nathan's sister, adopted sister, stepsister, it doesn't matter, right? His sister, right? And they would have a kid and, have a family. And they would try to survive the chaotic times that is the aftermath of the war between humans and the Chimera. This would go on, pretty good until the Earth Defense Force boys fucked everything up and helped jumpstart a wormhole to the Chimera homeworld and fucked everything up for Capelli. But he did go ahead and through the Resistance 3, help destroy it and cut the Chimera's reinforcements from, coming to their home. And with this, the humans were able to start successfully culling the Chimera from Earth and liberating it from their influence and their, existence. Resistance outside of the main story has 2 side games with side stories, one being Resistance Retribution, which focuses on James Grayson. This game also is the gameplay that you're seeing in the video right here, so I hope you enjoy it. It is pretty fucking dated. I had to get used to the controls, but the overall, I just needed something for Resistance related, right? I didn't want to just use trailers and shit like that, right? I just want to use my own gameplay. But as you can see, yeah, it's pretty wild, the fucking gameplay and the overall, setting of the game, right? It was pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. However, let's get back on topic. Retribution focuses on James Grayson, a Brit who helped with fighting the Chimera off Britain in the same area Nathan Hale was at, but they didn't cross paths at all. But he went AWOL after killing his brother who was infected. This game is between 1 and 2 of the main franchise, and he helped destroy major conversion centers around the world. Burning Skies is another side game where Tom Riley experiences the invasion on the Americas side and, trying to get through the Chimera to find his family. This game is pretty much its own contained story, which was fine by me. For me, Resistance's story closed rather well with, of course, humans coming out on top at the very end, and I think the series could definitely tell a magnitude of self-contained stories that could offer up tons of enjoyable content if done right. Now, would I like a return to the series? Of fucking course I would. Like, that's the point of this video. But would I like a remake, a remaster? I'm more partial towards a remake of the first one and see how that pans out. Personally, I would like a remake of the first 3 games and add more horror, more intense, crazy situations, but I strongly would like more like side games focusing on different stories being made, being focused, I would say, on being made. Am I fucking crazy? You know, focusing more on individual stories during the invasion of the Chimera worldwide. You know, something similar to Retribution and Burning Skies, and you know, they had their own stories with their own protagonists that help expand more of the story and more what's going on during the events of the main games, and you know, just overall the events of humanity and you know what's going on with them all around the world. I think that would be fucking cool as hell. I love more of that, like of that shit, because Retribution was just fire as fuck, like story wise, like it was like emotionally intense, fucking disturbing, you know, crazy as shit. But at the same time, like it was just, you know, full on action oriented. You know, it was just a fun game to play, right? Like all the games are pretty much fun to play, especially like the main series when you're playing as Nathan Hale. It's all overall fun. Honestly, like the side games don't even need to just be strictly shooters. Imagine an XCOM type Resistance game, an RTS game, a full-blown Outlast-esque horror game trying to get to the extraction zone from an invasion of a Chimera would be fucking sick and insane to play. I'm never one to focus too much on graphics, but I feel like with how graphics are today and how advanced they are, I'd love to have these games upgrade to today's higher levels of graphic standards and really dive into the horror and grotesque nature of the Chimera and really make them feel terrifying, disturbing, and just overall uncomfortable to fight against. Resistance isn't a game where it centers on just your character going through some shit. Everyone is going through some fucked up crazy shit. Everyone is getting their ass converted and everyone is fighting back. So, you know, having a game focusing on like a variety of different stories like this could be really interesting. You know, do what Battlefield 1 did and have the campaign focus on smaller stories of people fighting and trying to survive the Chimera, which could be really fucking neat. Do you know how incredibly insane it would be to play as a regular ass guy, just a regular ass dude off the street trying to escape a conversion facility? How terrifying that could be and how fun and disturbing and crazy it would be to just experience that. Imagine playing as a Chimera who regained his human memories and is actively fighting back against the Chimera using stealth and more cool shit to get, to foil the plans of the Chimera in the area for his individual story. That could be really fun to see. Resistance has a lot of potential, I feel like, and it should have been like a property dev teams all over can, just have fun with, similar to how Starship Trooper games, and I'm pretty sure Warhammer games as in general has a multitude of different game types and dabbles in different genres because of the different dev studios that mess with it. So I think Resistance could be one of those multiple dev team type games with various people, loving the different, takes on it, which could be really interesting. This opens up a conversation about IPs being shared with different dev studios. And if, I might make a video on this topic, but, it opens up that conversation that there could be IPs that can be shared between, different dev studios, depending on, the allowance of the person that owns said property. Resistance as a franchise is pretty goddamn good. I love it so goddamn much. I don't know if Insomniac will ever revisit it, but I really just do hope, because the gameplay wasn't bad. It was fun as fuck. Like as a kid, at the time, it was fun as hell. Like it got me. It was just insane. It was just really insane at times, dealing with the Chimera, especially as a youngin trying to do your fucking best. But because Insomniac is focused on the new Wolverine movie and Spider-Man games, I doubt Resistance will ever return onto their minds. But who knows? Maybe a smaller team from Insomniac might be cooking up something. We don't know. However, the mech missions in Retribution were pretty fucking fun in of themselves, right? Like, fuck, man. Like, back then, Resistance had some real crazy fucking dynamic shit, like for you to experience in this game, especially the opening of 2. It's just so damn fun and just really shows the potential of the franchise, because it can be really fucking wild in this game, man. Like, would you be open to another game, like a remake, like remaster situation, a different genre of the game entirely in this universe. Tell me your thoughts on Resistance. Do you have any good memories about it? Do you even remember it? Do you want to see it come back? And the biggest question I have for you guys is, like, what would you make, like, in this universe of Resistance? Like, what kind of story, what kind of game? Like, just no restraints, no nothing. Tell me what you guys would make when it comes to Resistance. So let me know in the comments below. Now, with my questions asked and the video done, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe mentally, emotionally, and physically, and see you guys later. Insomniac, if you make another Resistance game, my life is yours.